Welcome to Subramani. In every class or in every client meeting, I bring this topic up saying life throws a googly at you exactly when you don't expect it, right? You thought life is going very smooth, you have made your will and everything, and suddenly there is some nasty surprise in either in your life or in somebody else's life, and you revisit some of your investment decisions, right? Like my friend who says that I don't even buy a green banana, I don't know whether I'm going to live tomorrow to eat it, right? So that kind of a thing, but you have to still plan. And like there's an old saying, I think it is an Yiddish proverb which says man plans and God laughs. Let's take a very famous example. Mr. Ratan Tata decided that he's old and he wants to retire, so he made Mr. Cyrus Mistry the heir apparent, right? That was all fine. Then they got into a fight, but forget all that. God must have been laughing, saying, hey, you have no clue who goes first, right? And then Cyrus Mistry went away. I mean, when Cyrus Mistry had a fight with Ratan Tata, things fell out, he resigned, and then he died, right? So if he had not resigned and he had died, then the whole thing would have to be done again. You have no clue how long you will live, you have no clue how long the heirs will live. So suddenly, after finishing everything, the client comes and says, I have a problem. My wife has been detected with cancer, and so I'm going to require X amount of money. I don't know whether it will be covered by the insurance. Luckily for him, his employer stepped in and took the bill. I mean, the bill was about 25-30 lakhs. Could he have paid for it? Yes, he could have paid for it, but it would have made a huge dent in his net worth. Maybe 5%, 10% of his net worth would have gone. But then his wife survived, and this happened about 7-8 years back, or maybe 10 years back. Right, so God throws googlies at us, so we all have to be prepared for that. In fact, we have to be so well prepared that I am reminded of this man George Kinder, who does this financial life planning or something like that, and I am going to paraphrase what he says. I am going to read from what he says, but I may still change some words, so therefore I am saying I am going to paraphrase. So again, it reminds me of Mike Tyson, who says everybody has a plan till you're punched in the face. It's so true. When you actually arrive at that situation in life, you have no clue how to react. We all know that when a tiger comes near you, all you have to do is stand still, right? How many of us will be able to do it? That is the question. And the tiger sees you, the tiger is as scared of you. So the tiger will attack you not because of anything else, but because it is afraid that you will do something to it, right? So you need to be prepared, and you need to be well prepared, and you need to be able to execute well. All this is important. This is not going to be very easy. So as an individual financial planner or a financial advisor, what do you tell your clients? So George Kinder says these are the three important questions. Question number one, imagine that you're financially secure and you have enough money to take care of your needs for now and the future. How would you lead your life? And what would you change? Would you change anything at all? Would you want to work more, want to work less, or what would be your priorities? Would you want to travel? Now go and describe your ideal life as to how it should be, right? And then say, I want this, this is to be done, that is to be done, right? I mean, you have to be reasonable. You cannot say, I want to buy a spaceship costing $2 billion. Maybe you don't have that kind of money, but come out with a plan, assuming for a minute that your life is financially secure, you're financially independent, you don't need to work anymore for getting that money. So you don't have to work for your living. So then make your plan. You have prioritized, you say what you want to do, when you want to do, everything. Now imagine you have made this plan, and next day you go to a doctor, and the doctor says maybe you have 5 years to live, or maybe you have 10 years to live. You will be able to live your life exactly as you wish to. It's not going to be very painful, and you will but maximum of 10 years or 7 years or something like that. And you're young, you're 37 years of age, right? If it happens to me at 62, I'd be thrilled, saying 10 years is too much, I don't want so much. So the thing is, what do you do at 35? You got all your priorities. You now want to know what to do. What will you prioritize over 5 years or 7 years or 10 years, whatever is the number that you tell the client. And third option, ask the client another question, again George Kinder's question, and that is, you will not be in a position to say this to anybody, but you have exactly 1 day to live. Now prioritize, right? So your priorities change depending on how short a time that you have. So if you have 1 day to live, how would you live? Now, most of us have no clue whether we have 1 day to live, 5 years to live, 10 years to live, we don't have. But we assume that we are permanent. We don't catch up on a lot of paperwork to be done, a lot of legal work to be done. We keep postponing and saying, oh, we'll do it later. What's the hurry, right? We are all hoping that one day when we die, or God comes and takes care of the paperwork, or like what Yes Minister would say, when God comes, you say, can you give me 2 hours, I need to catch up on my paperwork. It doesn't happen that way. You have to be prepared. You have to live like you're going to die tonight. You also have to be prepared for living for another 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever it is, right? So you need to be prepared for both. In fact, there's one interesting question which I ask advisors, that suppose God gave you a special power and he said, whenever you meet somebody, you will know exactly how long that person is going to live and what diseases or accidents he's going to have in his life. And you can see all of this as soon as you sit in front of the customer. But you cannot tell the customer what is going to happen. If you say that, the customer will die immediately or you will die immediately, one of the two. So you cannot say that. In such a case, what is the product that you would recommend? And 90% of the people come and say a term insurance and medical insurance. Exactly. If you do not know what illness you're going to have and how much it is going to cost, the best thing to buy is a medical insurance. So why are you denying that and why are you delaying that? And second is term insurance. If you're young, I mean, to me, term insurance is irrelevant. My daughter is financially independent and my wife has enough money to live. So yes, for me, term insurance is irrelevant. But if you're 30 years of age, 32 years of age, 35 years of age, yes, of course, you have your dreams and all that happening. Yes, somebody has asked you, George Kinder's 3 questions as to make your plans. Second, make your plans with 10 years to go and make your plan with 1 day to go. All that exercise you have done, but you have to actually implement it. You have to actually go and take a term insurance. You have to actually go and take a medical insurance, right? So similarly, when you have that power of knowing about all your friends, relatives, etc., you will put in tremendous amount of effort. Imagine you look at your neighbor whom you love a lot and you've been playing together since childhood, and he or she is not convinced that you should that person should buy term insurance and or medical insurance. You know what is going to happen. God has given you that power. How much of effort will you do to sell that product? That kind of effort is needed in selling the product, and that kind of commitment is needed for your own life. Since you don't know whether you're going to live for 1 day, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, live as though you're going to die tonight. Live as though you're going to die tomorrow, right? In fact, I've done one video saying, what if you died tonight? Right? So what kind of insurance you need, what kind of documentation you have to do, whether your PAN card, Aadhaar card are all in sync, passport, whether they are all in sync, whether all your certificates, marriage certificate and birth certificate and are in place, whether you have instructed people around the house to say exactly how the name should appear in the death certificate. All this is required for your loved ones to get access to your property, right? So all this is necessary. How much time you wish to spend with your mother, father, etc., right? You may have a million reasons not to. But if you're going to die tonight, and if you know that, you will immediately go sit with your loved ones and say, look, I've got 24 hours to go. You can't tell them that, and you suddenly want to become very good, very nice, very kind, right? Like, I remember one astrologer called a guy and looked at his son and said, I want you to do one thing. I want you to spend a lot of time with this boy so that he can have a good life. So He says every month I want you to take some time off, spend time with him, buy him gifts, travel with him, take him wherever he wants to go, etc., etc. And 3 years later, the boy died. And the couple went back to that astrologer, and astrologer said, I could see it, but I didn't want to tell you that because it would have made your life miserable for 3 years. So I'd rather. So the couple was very happy because they spent a lot of time with the kid, bought him gifts and played with him, took him to places, introduced him to many people, everything they did. So this is the way how an astrologer handled the situation, which he could see. But there was no point in telling them this, right? So similarly, you whether you're a salesperson or whether it is in your individual life, act as if you're going to die tonight and then live your life. Thank you.